Hello, everyone. Greetings, and welcome to the first edition of Northeastern University's live yoga here at the Dharma Space. My name is Evan, and I'm a Mindfulness Fellow here at CSDS. And we'll be going through a good session to move our bodies, connect to our breath, and see what comes up. So, to start, we'll just do a little bit of grounding. So, wherever you're at today, just find a nice, comfortable seat. And allow yourself to settle in and come into your breath. Just observe your breath briefly here to begin, noticing your inhales and exhales. And perhaps feeling a softening of the breath as you go. Connect into your roots, to the floor, the contact points you're making with the ground. And whether you're tuning in live or watching this later, just take a moment to appreciate your day. Appreciate anything that you have going on in your life or that you're looking forward to. Build that sense of gratitude to begin this practice. Together, we'll take 3 mindful breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So to start, go ahead, release any air you hold in your chest. And then inhale through your nose, full and deep. All the way, fill the lungs, and exhale out with a sigh. Once again, breathing in through the nose. And sigh it out as you release. Last time, breathing in full and deep through the nose. And let go. Coming down to the here and the now. Place hands together at heart center. We'll chant a single Om to begin. First exhaling and inhaling for sound. And gently open your eyes and start to navigate towards your mat if you're not there already. I may try to adjust the camera here just a little bit so I get a good angle for everyone. This is the first time we're starting this practice, so bear with me as we work out some of the small kinks. All right, how does this look? Okay, I might try to shift the camera back just a bit more. All right. And I hope for everyone back home, this is nice and viewable. Good. Looks pretty solid on my end. So we'll start, just come to the front of your mat, take a position. Feet can be about hip width apart, and just ground in with your toes. Allow your hands to fall by your sides. And take a moment to stand here, standing tall, mountain pose. Maybe allow your eyes to close. And take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale to sweep the arms up overhead. Reach high when you get there. Maybe slightly back bend at the top. And then exhale to fold forward and down, reaching towards the floor. Take a moment here to just hang. Allow your body to be heavy. Maybe catch opposite elbow with opposite hand and swing side to side. Let gravity do the work to pull you down closer to earth. Maybe you grab opposite elbows behind your legs, and again, just shift. With the next exhale, slowly release the hands down to the mat and come into a halfway lift. So hands can come up to the shins here, or maybe to the knees, whatever feels comfortable. Perhaps you're down at the floor, but try to keep your back straight. So open the chest, keep the head and the gaze somewhat down, keeping the neck all the way in line with the spine. The next exhale, we'll go back down to the forward fold, plant the hands, bend the knees, and then take a big step back with both legs into high plank. Good, holding here. We're just going to practice shifting weight over our wrists. So coming front and back, and side to side, shifting laterally. Engaging your shoulders, your arms, keeping them straight and stacked underneath. And then lower yourself down all the way through chaturanga and rest your chest onto the mat. Inhale to lift your chest up, baby cobra here. Try to gaze up towards the ceiling. Use your back muscles and then slowly relax down. Flip your toes and then press yourself back up all the way through and push the hips back into downward facing dog. From here, you can pedal the legs, one and then the other, back and forth, lifting the heel up off the mat. And eventually come into a bit of stillness. Let the heels be heavy and ground ever closer towards the mat below you. And let the spine be straight and long. Taking some intentional breaths here. And grounding in with all of the fingers, all of the toes. Planting the hands firmly into the mat. One more breath here. And then lower yourself down. Let the knees come towards the mat into tabletop. And press yourself back into child's pose. Let the head be heavy, resting against the floor. Let the arms reach out far in front of you, creating extra length in the spine. As always, child's pose is accessible at any point during the practice if you just want a break. You can always come here and relax. With your next inhale, press yourself back up through tabletop position. Stack your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And then press up to lift only the knees up off the mat briefly. Try to flatten the back, try not to round too much, keeping the back flat. And just hover the knees off the ground. And starting with the left leg, we're going to lift it up and reach it towards the wrist. Draw that leg back. Stay in your hover, and then same thing with the right leg. Reach it up towards the wrist. Planting back, engaging your core. Slow and controlled movements on both sides, left and then right. Few more here. Breathing as you move. And then again, press your hips up and back through to downward dog. Each time we come through here, maybe you find a bit more length in your dog and a bit more flatness in your back. As you inhale, gaze up towards your fingers and just take small steps towards the front of the mat, walking your way all the way through to a fold. Feet can come together. Inhale to a half lift. And then exhale back to that fold. Inhale and slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Allow your body to come up to a stand, and the shoulders and the arms to reach up high once you get there. Exhale, hands come together, heart center, Samasthiti. Inhale, sweep the arms up once more, and come down into chair pose, Utkatasana. Holding here. Breathing some fire into the belly. And try to keep the back flat. Once again, we don't want to arch the back, keeping it nice and flat and aligned with the rest of the spine. Try to keep the knees around the level or behind the toes if able. Just a few more breaths here. Reaching high with the arms, gazing up. And with the next exhale, fold down, reach towards the mat. Inhale to a half lift. And then exhale, step or jump yourself back through to high plank. Lower to chaturanga, low plank. And then inhale through a cobra or an upward facing dog. Exhale, flip the feet and drive the hips up and back through to downward dog. The next inhale, reach the right leg up high. Hold it here briefly. Bend the knee and just start to rotate at the hip joint. Try to create circles with your knee. First counterclockwise, rotating around, and then shifting directions. Again, controlled movements, and try to keep the weight distribution equal in your arms. Reach the right leg straight up and back once more, and then exhale, drive your knee towards your nose. Engage the core and hold. And then inhale back up. Exhale, drive the knee towards your right elbow and hold. Inhale back up. Exhale, drive the knee towards your left elbow and hold. And then inhale back up. And the last time, drive it all the way through. Plant the foot between the hands and come up through to warrior one. Hold here. Find your good position. Try to align your knee directly over your ankle and the back leg nice and long and straight. This back foot can be about a 45-degree angle. And then align your shoulders and your hips in one straight line. Good. Lowering into that lunge ever more if you need to. And then exhale, allow the hands to come back towards the mat. Plant them firmly, lift the leg, and then step it back high. Moving through a three-legged, downward into upward, and then press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, left leg is going to step up high. Bend first and draw some circles with your knee. Moving one direction for a few breaths. Opening the hip as much as you can, and then change direction, rotating the other way. Inhale to reach the left leg up high once more. And then exhale, draw that knee towards your nose. Give it a squeeze, use your core, and then inhale back up. Exhale, draw towards your left elbow, hold. Inhale back up. And exhale, draw the knee towards your right elbow and hold. And come back. And exhale, last time. Bring that foot all the way through, plant between the hands, and swing up to warrior one, other side. Holding here. Again, find your knee placement directly over your ankle or your foot. You can ground in with the back foot, the right heel comes down towards the mat. Reach high with the arms. And gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, bring the arms forward and down. Plant them both. Lift the leg and drive it back through. Move through three-legged chaturanga, upward dog, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Two more big intentional breaths here. With your next inhale, gaze up between your hands, and you can either step or take a jump up to the front of the mat, and we'll meet in a half lift. Exhale to a fold. And then inhale back up through chair pose. Arms reach overhead, back flat, reaching high. Engage the core once again. And then exhale, stand, Samasthiti, drop the hands. Take a breath here, close the eyes, check in with the body, check in with the breath. There's always the option to breathe intentionally into your practice, wherever you are in the cycle. Open the eyes, bring the feet to about hip width apart, and then inhale to reach the arms up high, and exhale to fold all the way down. Take your peace fingers and reach for your big toes. Try to catch your toes with your peace fingers. Lift your chest with an inhale, and then exhale to pull yourself down, folding forward. Few breaths here. Reaching and pulling yourself. Allow your knees to bend as much as you need to bring your chest closer towards your thighs, and then worry about straightening your legs after. Inhale to lift the chest. Release the peace fingers from your toes, but keep your hands towards the ground. The right leg is going to come up behind you, and we're going to come into a standing split. So right leg reach as high as it can, and keep that fold down towards the front leg. And from here, drop into a lunge and just tap the calf of your left foot with your knee and come back up. Again, bending, folding, tapping, and then reach the right leg up high. Last time, drop down, tap, and then extend the right leg back behind you. Keep the heel lifted, and we're in a low or a high lunge. Crescent lunge here. Heel of the back foot off the ground, finding stability, finding strength. Few more breaths, and then shift your weight back over so your right heel is now actively engaged, and you can find some balance in your core. You're kind of in a reclined position, but you should feel a good leg balance here. Just briefly. Next step, we're going to shift the hips open, drop the arms down, come into warrior two. So the right foot is fully grounded, left foot pointing forward, right foot pointing about perpendicular. Just give a quick check over your back arm to make sure it's aligned. Allow your shoulders to drop down, to relax away from your ears. Next, inhale, straighten your front leg, reach forward and come down to triangle pose. Right arm reaches and pulls you up high, keeping your body straight. Try not to collapse down, but use your core, use your back muscles to keep you lifted. Again, the hand on the left side can come down towards the shin or somewhere else, maybe a block if you have at home to support you. There's no need for it to go all the way down. Your next inhale, your right arm will pull you up high, come back through, bend the front knee once more, and then bring hands together at heart center. And as you do that, twist over so your right elbow crosses the left knee. You can bring your right hand down towards the mat. If you'd like to go deeper into the twist, maybe left arm reaches high. Maybe left arm comes all the way behind your back for a half bind around the hip. Holding here, finding your balance, gazing up towards the ceiling. And there is a bind with the right hand if you'd like to feed it through and use your leg for strength and support. Wherever you're at, slowly unbind, unwind, bring the hands back to heart center, and slowly, being intentional with your movements, unwind and untwist all the way back through. And we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to switch directions so you can all see me better. Still leading with the left, we just untwisted. Both feet are now facing outwards on the long edge of the mat. Take an inhale to lift the chest, reach the arms out. And then exhale to fold forward and down. Use the hands on the mat maybe to pull yourself deeper into that forward fold. And try to straighten the legs, but if you need to bend them, that's just fine too. Taking a few more breaths here to lengthen your spine. Imagine your head is reaching ever closer towards the mat. Your next inhale, come up to a half lift in this position. Draw your hands towards your hips, and then inhale to lift up all the way back through to stand. Good. Draw the legs in, heel toe your way, so they're a bit closer, and then point the feet in opposite directions across the mat. We'll lower down here into goddess squat. Arms can come out, devasana, lowering down. Try to open the hips if you can, and find some balance. Again, finding stillness through your breath, through your practice. And just like any time in life where we feel discomfort or challenge, try to lean into it. Try to hold that place of discomfort and breathe into that space. And from here, inhale to stand all the way back up. Let the legs come a bit wider, and we'll drop down towards the left leg into Skandasana. So you don't need to come all the way down. If you just shift your weight a bit, you can have hands at heart center, maybe hands on your hips if you need, or down on the mat to support you. But try to lower yourself eventually so that you're all the way hips reaching towards the mat. Your right leg will be extended. You can place the left hand down on the mat and reach the right arm up high. If you're a bit higher up, you can still do that with your elbow on your knee and just reach the right arm up high as well. Opening here, reaching towards the sky. You can also take your left hand, wrap it around behind you, around the knee, and find your balance here. Wherever you're at, place both hands down on the mat. Use it to help lift you back up through that wide-legged forward fold. Hands come to hips once more. Inhale, lifting up all the way. Turn both feet towards the front and take a big step all the way through. Planting feet together, hands at heart center. Exhale, let the hands come down. And again, bring the feet about hip width apart. Inhale, reach the arms high. And then exhale, folding forward and down. So take the palms of your hands and slide them underneath your feet and try to connect palm to the sole of your foot. Once you're there or thereabouts, give an inhale to lift your chest, and then exhale to fold forward and down. We'll take a few breaths here, again lengthening the spine. Focus on your lower back, trying to create space there, and opening the hamstrings as well. The next inhale, come up, release the hands from under the feet, but keep them on the ground. This time the right foot will stay planted and the left leg will reach up high for that standing split. Don't have to be all the way up. Wherever you're at is totally fine. Just try to reach the left leg as high as possible while keeping the left leg up high while keeping the right leg grounded. Take an exhale, drive the knee towards the calf and just give it a touch. And inhale back up. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale back up. Exhale, drop it down. Give it one more tap. And then step the left leg back, meeting in high lunge, arms reach overhead. A few breaths here. Finding your balance in crescent lunge. Dropping in a bit more if you need, or if you can. You can focus on the breath anytime it's accessible. Next move will be to straighten the right leg, shift your weight back over towards the left foot. You may notice a strange balance here, not exactly comfortable. Again, engage the core, find your stability, and then drop that heel down, come into warrior two on the other side. Lengthen your gait if you need, and again, try to align the right knee over the right foot. Arms straight out to the sides. Take a peek back at the left arm to make sure it's aligned, and then return your gaze over the right fingertips. Again, allow your shoulders to fall down, perhaps away from your ears. And then inhale to straighten the front leg. Take a step in if you need. And then feel your right arm pulling you towards the front, dropping down into Trikonasana. Left arm is going to reach high. Right arm somewhere either shin, foot, or mat. Again, try not to collapse all the way down. Use your core, use your strength to keep you strong and stable. With your next inhale, your left arm's going to pull you up back through to center, neutral position. Bend your knee, bring your hands together, open with a twist. This time, left elbow comes towards right knee. And use that leverage to help pull you deeper into this posture. Coming all the way around if you're able. And let the left hand reach down towards the mat while the right hand reaches high. Twisting to open the spine here. Again, you can keep the hands together at heart center, or just keep an elbow on the knee, whatever feels good. If you'd like to go deeper, your right hand can come behind your back, initially binding around against your hip. And then the left hand perhaps comes through and catches the right underneath the leg. Slowly release left hand down to mat. Unwind right hand back up. Bring both hands back together at heart center. And then intentionally, slowly unwind all the way back through. This time, again, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale the arms, reach them out to the sides. Exhale, hands come together behind your back and clasp. Lift the chest. Inhale, gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, fold forward and down. Prasarita C, forward folding here. Use your scapulas to really pull your chest open. Active engagement can help save you from shoulder impingement. And again, try to see if your head can get ever closer towards the mat. So a few more breaths here. And then with your next inhale, roll all the way up back through stand. Release the clasp and heel toe the feet closer together. Bring them a bit closer this time than they were before, and your feet can be about 45-degree angle. Drop down all the way into Malasana. So wherever you're at with your low squat here, your yogi squat, maybe your elbows are on your thighs, maybe you're all the way dropped in and using your elbows to support and lift your chest. Wherever you're at, just try to find some comfort, even if that's supported here. Try to drop in a bit lower into those hip creases, lowering yourself down. Find comfort where you are. Maybe rock the hips side to side a little bit, back and forth. And then I like to take this opportunity, if you'd like to go for crow, we'll kind of demo that really quickly. So place both hands down on the mat or on the ground in front of you, firmly about shoulder width apart, no need to go too wide. Once the hands are planted firmly, lift the knees so that you can place them on your triceps or into your elbows. Knees come to the triceps, and once you're there, bend your arms so they're about a nice 90-degree angle. You have a platform for your leg to lift. Start with one and then lift the other. Once you're there, you can play around, straighten the arms, bending the arms, but always try to keep your chin lifted and your tailbone tucked down. If you'd like to come back out and reset, you can experiment by going a bit higher on the triceps into crane, shifting forward and lifting the legs with the arms straight. Don't forget to breathe and don't forget to smile. Whenever you're done with this time, come back through Malasana. Place the hands on the mat for support and then stand up all the way back through. Widen the legs just a bit and we'll go through Skandasana other side. So again, this time right knee, right leg will bend, drop it down towards the mat and get some grounding in your left foot. If you're up higher, that's totally fine too. You can be supported, you can be rested. Wherever you're at today, use your hands to brace and give you the space you need. If you're all the way down and you'd like to try for that bind, wrap the right arm around the right leg, left arm comes behind. Find some balance and gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe the right hand is planted and the left arm is reaching up. If you can, just open the body and challenge the self just a bit. Last breath here, in and out. Exhale, drop the hand down. Use both hands to support you as you stand back up through a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, place the hands on the hips, half lift. Take one exhale here using your lower back for strength. Inhale to stand all the way back up. Take a breath out. And then a big step forward, front of the mat. Let it all go. Hands come down to the sides. Take a few breaths here. Close the eyes. Checking in with the self. Breathing. So much of yoga is movement, but so much also can be stillness. It's critical during the practice to try to make a consistent habit of checking in with the self. How am I breathing? How am I feeling? Whenever you're ready, take an inhale, reach the arms up high above, and then exhale down to a forward fold, hands coming towards the mat. Inhale to a half lift, and then exhale, plant the hands, bend the knees, and maybe step or jump back. Chaturanga, low plank, and inhale, upward dog. Exhale, drive the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, in through the nose and out through the nose. Intentional deep breaths, grounding in with the hands and the palms, the fingertips. And then with your next inhale, gaze up between your hands, and this time we'll jump or step through to a seat. So come through into a seat, let your legs come out in front. I'm going to turn here just for the idols. Let my feet point in the other direction. So you're somewhere towards the front of the mat, or in my case, the back of the mat. Legs out in front. First, we'll take a moment in staff just to ground in with the hip bones, the body, settling in here. Place the hands on the mat, sit tall with your spine, and gaze forward. Hardest posture of the day. And then take an inhale to reach the arms up high, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift the chest, and then exhale to come deeper into that fold. You can catch toes, sides of the feet, maybe shins or ankles, whatever you can grab right now. Slowly inhale, lift the chest up, and then exhale, draw the hands back all the way behind you. Place them a good, hands distance behind your hips. Point your toes forward, and then inhale to lift the hips up, drive in towards the ceiling, engage your lower back here, and let the head fall. Plant the hands firmly. Engage the fingers, the hips, the core. One more breath in. And as you exhale, lower down, let the hips come to the mat. Lower yourself all the way, and then arms reach overhead, and do just a little roll so you come back onto your belly. From here, we'll go through Shalambhasana or locust pose a few times. So let's start out, we'll keep our hands by the shoulders and just come up back through that baby cobra. Adjust yourself as needed, using your back to lift. And then gently lift your hands and feet off the mat to start. Hovering here, legs, arms up off the mat. And then relax, let them come down. Take a breath. And this time, inhale, lift the legs first, a bit higher if you're able, and then reach the arms out in front. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently come down, down, down. Allow the head to be heavy just for a moment. You can turn your head to one side. Connect to your breath, connect to the floor, to the earth. And then draw your head back up. Inhale to lift the legs, and the arms reach forward as well. Holding here again for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming down. Turn the head to the other side and let it be heavy. Give yourself this refuge, this rest. With your next inhale, bring the head back up. Drive the arms back towards the under or directly underneath your shoulders, and maybe bend both knees and reach back and try to catch the ankles. If you can do that, with the chest lifted, maybe you can lift the legs up off the mat as well. With an inhale, the whole chest and the legs, the thighs are lifted. Down your asana, we'll pose, holding here. Again, engage and lift where you can. Find your edge. Find the place between comfort or ease and discomfort. And then slowly lower down. Drop the hands towards the mat. Inhale to press up through upward dog. Exhale for downward dog. Take a few breaths for yourself. And then lower your knees down towards the mat, tabletop position. If you'd like to readjust, I think I changed sides, so you're more than welcome to come back towards the front of the mat or stay where you're at. We'll go through something similar as far as back extensions go. So first, lift the left knee up off the mat and straighten it behind you. Try to kick the wall with your left foot, and then reach the right arm forward. Inhale to extend, and then reach the right arm back. Try to catch the foot of your left side and open into kind of a modified tabletop dancer pose. Holding here. Engage the back and lift. Also look up towards the ceiling if you're able. Use your core, use your breath. Find stillness. With your next exhale, release the arm and the leg, but don't drop it down just yet. Left leg goes back, right arm reaches forward. Exhale down, give it a nice crunch. Squeeze, elbow towards knee. Inhale back up. Exhale down. And inhale back up. Exhale one more time, elbow towards knee. Inhale back up. And then right hand comes towards the mat and left leg can step out to the side. From here, just come into kind of a low lunge or side lunge, almost lizard. Let the leg be wide, off the mat even. Shift your hips forward and back. And just notice anything that's coming up in your abductors or your adductors. Come up both hands on the mat. Reach the left arm up high. Extending all the way open. And then exhale, drop back towards the mat. Use your abductor strength to lift the leg first and then swing it back around and come back. Drop the knee under the hip. Switching to the other side, left arm reaches forward, right leg reaches back. Align the hips parallel to the floor. Inhale to lift and exhale, reach left arm back, catching right foot. And pull and kick with that right leg to lift the back, lift the chest. Modified dancer. Holding here, breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release, but keep them both extended. Exhale, elbow towards knee. Inhale, back up. Exhale, drive it back together, give it another crunch. And inhale, back up. Last time, exhale, elbow towards knee. Inhale, back up. Drop the left hand down and rotate the right foot all the way to the outside. Again, now the right foot is firmly out in the gate pose. You can shift some of the weight forward and back. Maybe noticing anything that comes up in the hips here. Take a few more breaths here. Foot planted on the mat, or outside rather. And then inhale to reach your right arm up high, twisting open. Exhale, hand comes back towards the mat. Again, use the adductor strength, lift the right leg and swing it back behind. Plant knees both on the mat. Inhale, drive the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. And again, come up onto the tippy toes. Bend the knees to load and try to jump through to a seat. And I'm going to rotate again, with respect to the idols, pointing the feet towards the front of your mat. Move through 3 iterations of boat pose. So going through 3 different rounds, 3 different styles. First time, place your hands on the mat somewhere that's comfortable by your hips and just lift your legs. You can keep them bent to start and just hold here for 5 breaths. 4, lift the chest if you can. 3, 2, And 1. Slowly lower the feet down. Take a breather. This time we'll have the legs bent again. We'll try to lift the arms up off the mat. Holding here, using your hips as the support point for the ground. 4 more breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. Take 1 more breath. And the last time, try to straighten the legs out all the way in front. Keep the back aligned, and then reach the arms up as well. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. Hands come as well. Slide yourself to a comfortable position on the mat, and then use your core once more to engage as you slowly roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae, landing on the mat. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Give them a big squeeze. Rock side to side. And then take a moment for happy baby. So bring the legs up. Hands can come to the outside of the feet and just pull the legs down, drawing hips towards the floor. Again, you can rock side to side or just find stillness. Slowly release the arms, the legs coming down to the mat. And extending out as your arms come down to your sides. If you'd like to take any other postures now, before we come into Shavasana, go ahead. Otherwise, allow yourself to feel fully grounded. Allow your legs to feel heavy, your eyes to close, and your arms to feel fully relaxed. Take this time in Shavasana as long as you can. Whatever your day permits. But I'll be closing this session here by chanting a single Om for everyone in the room and everyone live. Again, I invite you to rest in Shavasana as long as your day allows. Coming together, exhale first. And inhale for sound. Wishing you peace, light, and an enjoyable rest of your week. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Evan, and hopefully I'll see you again next week. Take care.